So using this GSS data, let's talk about normality assumptions. I've already gone in and input my data into the Explore descriptive statistics and told SPSS that I want outputs to explore normality. So we're first going to examine this descriptive statistics table, and first we're going to talk about skewness. So just as a reference, skewness tells us if the data is distributed evenly on either side of the mean. Now let's focus your attention on this middle guy here. This is what a normal perfect distribution looks like, this bell-shaped curve that everybody loves to have. So in the middle is your mean, and the skewness in this example, your skewness statistic would be 0 because your data is not falling to either side of this distribution. So a positively skewed distribution would look like this, where your data is clustered around the mean toward the negative side and you have more data on the positive side of your distribution. And the opposite is true for a negative skew. And these are relative to your skewness statistic. Again, so if you have a negative skewness statistic, your data would look more like this, and the opposite is true if you had a positive skewness statistic. So let's take a look. We have our descriptive statistics table here, and I'm just going to go over males. You can apply the same things to females. So males, we can look up here at our n value, which is our sample size. So we have a relatively small sample size, around 50. We can use a reference value of positive or negative 1.96 for our skewness statistic. That is just a number that correlates with an alpha level of 0.05. So what we want to do is we want to take this statistic ratio. We want to say negative 1.345 over its standard error, which is 0.434, and this gives us about 3.01. Negative 3.01 is our skewness statistic. So with that in mind, when we compare that, if we have again a skewness statistic between positive and negative 1.96, we can retain the assumption of normality. But if it's either smaller than 1.96 or greater than 1.96, we reject normality. So in this situation with your male variable, you would reject normality based on the skewness statistic. But next we're also going to talk about kurtosis and your Shapiro-Wilk test.